Greg, there's a very interesting comment overnight from the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, he invaded Ukraine in February with the excuse that, well, here's Ukraine as wanting to join NATO, the European and American Defence Alliance, which would put, the NATO right on Russia's border. This was terrible. His invasion since, though, has now scared neutral Finland and Sweden, both on Russia's doorstep, into saying they want to join NATO too. Russia was initially warning of war if they did this, but Putin has now said, as far as expansion goes, including new members, Finland and Sweden, to NATO, Russia has no problems with these states, none. And so in this sense, there's no immediate threat to Russia from an expansion. What does this amazing back down tell you?
Well, I think it tells us that Putin is much weaker than he was 6 months ago, and he has produced everything he didn't want out of his invasion of Ukraine. I mean, states do sometimes do incredibly dumb things, like Cambodia provoking a war with Vietnam, which was 10 times as big as it. He said he invaded Ukraine because he was so affronted by NATO expansion, and now he's produced an expansion which was on no one's radar previously, Finland and Sweden wanting to join, although they may be held up by Turkey, which is a de facto Putin ally, and it shows in a sense how anomalous Turkey's position inside NATO is. But Putin's military is semi-exhausted, and I don't think he could mount a conventional operation anywhere. He's still a very dangerous beast because a single-man dictatorship coming into a lot of trouble is very dangerous. But I think he wants to cut his losses if he possibly can, declare some kind of victory in Ukraine and negotiate a ceasefire. He's not looking to pick an argument with either Finland or Sweden. And, he may even be scared of the Americans at the same time.
Greg, this is our last chat before the election on Saturday. Wrap it up for us, the defence policies on both sides. Now, I know you haven't been impressed with the Liberals. I don't know if I'm impressed with the Labor one, and I do wonder that they're weak on China. But wrap it up for us, how you see the choice.
Well, I think on foreign policy there's broad bipartisanship. That's a good thing. That shows we're a mature nation. I'm not impressed with either side in defence. So I think the government talks a big game but delivers almost nothing in terms of relevant defence capability in the next 5 to 20 years. But on the other hand, let me hasten to say, Labor has a terrible record. The record under Rudd and Gillard was absolutely shocking. Two interesting little observations I'd offer you. One is the old factional equation in Labor that the right safeguarded the alliance and security and the left was a danger has kind of been reversed now. Albanese from the left, Penny Wong from the left and Brendan O'Connor from the left have all been absolutely solid citizens on security, and Albanese is promising at least 2% GNP on defence. By the way, the Morrison government always claims that 2%, but last year we didn't get there. We got to 1.95% of GNP on defence. And the weak sister in Labor has been Richard Marles from the right. So the old factional equations are gone. But I think both sides give us cause for very great concern, because the underlying defence policy of Australia really is that we rely absolutely on the Americans. Now, it's smart that we be close to the Americans. That's good thinking on our part. But the failure of us to provide for our own defence under either side of politics has been a tremendous national failure. We weren't always like this, but we've been like this now for a long time, I'd say since the end of the Howard government. So neither side is very inspiring, and neither side has departed much from the core orthodoxy of the American alliance.
That's well said. I would only add to that, it's one thing to want the defence of this country, it's another thing to pay for it, and the party that is more likely to have an economy that will generate the income you need to defend yourself might be the better bet. That's all I would add to that. Greg Sheridan, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Fair comment.
Thank you so much for your time.